Hello ladies and gentlemen and everyone else, welcome to a Sunday afternoon episode of Ted's Booze Cellar, the premier alcohol review show here on YouTube with me, your most gracious host, Ted. Sorry there hasn't been an episode for a couple of weeks. Last week I was quite ill. I spent Monday, not this Monday just gone by, but the one before, throwing up a few times, and then I had to take a couple of days off work because I was just so unwell. And yeah, I was not in a good state of affairs, and so I had to take some time off, and then I think just my mental and sort of physical energy was very much sort of in the gutter from that, so that's why there hasn't been any videos for the last couple of weeks. Again, that does mean that sort of delays on the Carling and other side projects and sort of documentaries has been held up a bit, so that is going to be delayed for a little while. But I'm going to try and keep updates coming as much as they can. And yeah, I'm going to try and push out the Carling documentary soon within the next several weeks, but do just bear with me on that. And again, apologies that I've kept pushing it back so long, but hopefully it will be out soon. And I am also going to get back into the rhythm of bringing out more regular episodes, at least once a week, of Ted's Booze Cellar, so hopefully we should get back into the rhythm of things very, very shortly. But today I thought I'd take a look at a beer that I got when I was in the Unbarred brewery tap room. Recently, getting just a chilled half pint after a day of chores, and I saw this in here and I didn't recognise it. I might have seen it before, or at least just forgotten about it perhaps, but I really like tea-based sort of beers and pre-mixed cocktails, and this one here sounds pretty interesting because this is Unbarred's Convivial IPA. This is a cold IPA with orange and Earl Grey tea. It's a 5.1%, so it's not super strong, but it's got a bit of oomph to it. It's a collaboration with Em Sauter and Melissa Cole. And I'm going to read the sort of description here after I've had a quick drink of water, just to sort of, not necessarily to cleanse the palate, but just more so to moisten the tongue so I can speak a little bit easier. So, one sec. Right, so, Convivial, an orange and Earl Grey cold IPA is brought to you by the women of Unbarred in collaboration with drinks and cartoonist and founder of Pints and Panels, Em Sauter, and journalist Melissa Cole. On the nose and palate, it has layers of biscuit malt and zingy citrus from hand-zested oranges, as well as complex floral top notes and soft tannic dryness from Earl Grey tea, sourced by our friends at Brighton-born company Bird and Blend. Bird and Blend, by the way, are a herbal tea company based in Brighton. They do make some really, really good stuff, so I would recommend them if you're into herbal teas and floral teas and stuff like that. They've got quite a wide sort of repertoire of flavours as well, actually, so they're quite good. In the true cold IPA fashion, Convivial is more aromatic and complex than a Pilsner, but more crisp and crushable than a traditional IPA. Okay, so it kind of seems to me like it could have the flavour profile of something kind of like a cross between a Pilsner and an IPA, from what they're describing, with quite a bit of floraliness from the Earl Grey aspects. And I imagine that would probably be offset a little bit by the orange, just to kind of balance everything out a little bit. So it says here, ingredients is water, barley, rice, hops, orange tea, yeast, and it is brewed and canned at the Unbarred brewery, as well you could safely assume. But yeah, I really like I really like the sound of the drink, but I'm not gonna lie, the can is just not leaving me with any great impressions. It's not like an ugly can, it's not badly designed. I like the way they put the label onto the can, actually. I'm actually kind of slowly warming to this kind of way of putting a label onto a can like this. I used to be really critical of it, but it's kind of warming to me a little bit, actually. It's got a bit of a craft beer kind of charm to it. But I don't know, I just feel like the art design is, it's just not great. To be honest, this isn't really one of the best labels that I've ever seen on an Unbarred beer, but it's not the worst either, so I'll give the label and the can a 5 out of 10. It's just fine. It's just nothing special, really. But anyway, let's have a quick snifter to see what our first impressions of this beer are like. Ooh, a little bit fizzed up there. Let's see. Yeah, nice nose actually. A little bit restricted in the can. Yeah, it's just orangey with a slightly floral after smell. It's not really much to speak of, so I'll give it like a 5.5 out of 10. It smells nice, but I just can't really make much of a profile of it from it in the can. So anyway, let's have a quick pour into the Harvey's brewery glass and so we'll hopefully be able to get a bit more of a flavour profile from the nose once we smell it in the glass. I mean, there must be some signs, because I've commented on this in many episodes, as you guys will have noticed, that the nose of a drink is always considerably different, or at the very least more prominent in the glass. And I think that's primarily just because it's got more room in that way for like the air particles from the scent to sort of kind of like spread out a bit. But I don't know, maybe I'm just chatting rubbish, but I think that there is some science behind that. So yeah, nice colour. Looks almost like hazy pale ale, or like, yeah, it looks more like a hazy pale ale, like kind of like a Mango-licious, you know, that IPA you can get from the North Lane Brew House, which is actually really good. Oops, just spilled some. But yeah, let's have a quick snifter of it in the glass. Ooh. Yeah, wow, actually, yeah, no, the nose in the glass is actually worse. Yeah, wow, yeah, no, that's not a great nose, actually. That's quite, it's not terrible. It's just very decidedly average or below average. It's just not leaving me with that much of an impression, and there's like this kind of tart harshness to it that I'm not really sure about. So I'll give the nose in the glass like a 4.5 out of 10. It's not really super bad. Like I don't mind it, but it's just like it's not great, to be honest. So yeah, no, 4.5 out of 10. Yeah, not a massive fan of the nose, to be honest, I'm afraid. But anyway, before we see what the drink is really like, we'll obviously have a quick palate cleanser of water. And remember, always stay hydrated when you're drinking alcohol. It's good for your brain and your body. Alright, now on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a good week ahead. I hope you had a fantastic weekend up to this point, and for the rest of this weekend, as one should say. And yeah, bottoms up. Have a great week ahead, everyone. And of course, happy Halloween to everyone who's celebrating this coming week. Cheers. It's all right. Yeah, it's just nothing. Wow. Oh, God, that is very bitter. God, that is. Oh, God, what kind of sort of hops and bits and bobs did they say they put in this? Barley, rice, hops. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out something here. Yeah, I think it's the barley and the hops just kind of overpowers the other flavours, I'm afraid. The flavour profile of this is a little bit imbalanced. There's the sort of Earl Grey flavours they were talking about do come into the flavour profile towards the end and kind of add a little bit of a nice sort of finish to it, so it kind of cuts off the bitterness really nicely, actually. So the aftertaste is actually really nice. That's probably the best part of the mouthfeel and the taste, is that aftertaste, but the mouthfeel is just kind of a bit heavy and like lopsided at the start, and then it just kind of peters off and it's kind of a bit watery at the end, and the flavour is just way too bitter. It's very imbalanced. You don't really get that much of the orange. I mean, you do get a fair bit of the Earl Grey tea at the end, which actually, like I said, balances out the flavour a little bit, and the quality of like the ingredients they put in this, I think, is actually good. So like the fundamental flavours that are there are actually good. It's just very imbalanced, and I just can't really taste much else aside from like the barley and hops. So I'm not massively blown away by this. It's not like terrible or anything. I just think it could have been better. I think it could have been a bit better balanced. It could have done with a bit more of the orangey flavour, a little bit more of a florally aspect to kind of just undercut everything and to kind of sort of add that extra kind of like dressing, I guess you could say, to it. But I don't know, it's just, it's not as bad. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jasmine Flower Pilsner I got from that brewery that was a partner brewery to Brewdog once. And it also reminds me a little bit of, there was this there was this craft IPA I tried once that was very similar actually to Unbarred's Juicy Pale Ale. And it was an IPA, and it was a lot like this one, but it was the same issue where it was like, even though the fundamental like flavours that they had in there were ones that you would think could work well together, they were just very imbalanced, and the hops and like stuff and like that in it were just too much, and it was very, very bitter. And it was annoying because it was like a decent texture, a decent flavour profile, but it was just, yeah, just nothing great. And I don't feel like completely bashing this drink. I wouldn't go out of my way to get this again, but I suppose, yeah, no, actually, no, I can't really get into it. I'm going to have to say, like, probably like a 4 or something like that out of 10. I'm just not into it. I just kind of like feel like I'm forcing myself to drink it, even though I don't really want to, but I don't hate it either. I just think that there are some fundamentally good ideas in here. There's some really good flavours in here. I just think it needs a bit of tweaking, a bit of rebalancing, but I don't know. It's not bad. I actually do imagine like quite a lot of people would enjoy this, to be honest. I mean, maybe I'm just being a bit harsh, but I don't know. Maybe I think that tea flavours might work better in pre-mixed cocktails, but I still hold out hope that it can work as a beer. But either way, I think there's some good ideas here. It's good in principle, but I just think I don't like it because it does feel very, very imbalanced in terms of the mouthfeel and the taste. So there you go. I think that kind of roundabout sums it up, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, whether you agreed or disagreed with anything I said in particular in this video. And if you've tried this beer before, let me know what your numerical rating is as well. So until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing. Leave any comments for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar or other video formats in the comment section below. Like, share and subscribe if you liked the video. And until next time, have fun, stay safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now.